Glad to have you join us. This is Nationwide. I'm Ruth Aguele. Welcome. 100 female farmers drawn from 5 states in southeast Nigeria are set to benefit from a 50 million naira empowerment grant under the Renewed Hope Initiative Women Agricultural Support Program. National chairman of the initiative, who is also Nigeria's First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu, announced this alongside other key intervention programs for 2024 during a meeting with wives of state governors at the villa. State House correspondent Adeni Taiwo reports that the reintroduction of alternative high school for girls across the country is also part of the agenda.
Since inception in June 2023 by Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu, the Renewed Hope Initiative has impacted vulnerable members of the society through plans and programs implemented along its 5-pronged focal areas of intervention. Sustaining the momentum is critical, so wives of state governors who are pivotal to effective implementation of the programs are at the villa for a meeting with the First Lady to appraise the expected roles and contributions as the initiative gets set for another round of interventions in year 2024.
We would be flagging up the Renewed Hope Initiative Women Agricultural Support Program, WASP, with the empowerment of 20 farmers each from the 5 states in the southeast zone. This will be coming up in Imo State on the 28th of February 2024. These farmers will get 500,000 naira each. We will soon be launching the Young Farmers Club in public schools across the nation. The initiative is to encourage farming among our young people. The goal of this is to ensure food in every home.
While RHI partnership with National Information Technology Development Agency, NITDA, will see another set of 40 women empowered with skills in ICT and seed fund, the initiative is also lining up a food outreach program that will support people living with disabilities and residents of IDP camps with food items.
The Renewed Hope Initiative will be organizing the National Fabric Competition, #One Nigeria Unity Fabric. This competition seeks to create a fabric that is indigenous, promotes peace, and unifies us as Nigerians. The competition is open to all Nigerians within and outside the shores of the country, within ages 15 and 25 years old. The winner of this competition will be given a cash prize of 25 million naira.
And sequel to our pledge to drive the We Are Equal campaign of the Organization of African First Ladies for Development, OFLAD, with education, the First Lady says the alternative high school for girls has to be reintroduced as a national program.
The winner for today's raffle is Osun State.
Selected through a transparent lottery system, Osun State will have the first shot at the program.
Once I get back home in Osun State, I'll discuss it with His Excellency Senator Nuruddin Adimola Adeleke, and from there we'll take it up.
It is still the beginning of the year and a time to lay out this agenda for the benefit of vulnerable Nigerians. It is expected that by engaging these critical stakeholders, RHI programs will attract effective implementation and desired results. In the State House, Adeni Taiwo, NTA News.
The FCT Minister of State, Dr. Maria Mahmood, has assured residents of the territory that efforts are ongoing by the FCT administration to ensure insecurity become a thing of the past. Aisha Uba Ali reports that she gave the assurance when she paid a sympathy visit to the family of Al-Qadriya Mansur, whose daughters were recently released after several days in kidnappers' den.
It was a surprise for the Al-Qadriya family to see the number 2 citizen of the FCT in their home. The minister was happy to interface with the family.
His Excellency Barrister Nigeria has been on his feet. We've been doing all the necessary to improve on our security situation in FCT, including the satellite towns and also the city itself.
She, however, expressed satisfaction over the victim's state of health, noting that they are in a stable condition.
We've come to support the family and to tell them that we have sympathized with them, and then the administration of FCT is with them.
In his response, the father of the children, who was also a victim, Malam Al-Qadriya Mansur, thanked the minister for the show of love, even as he called on the administration to extend the same to other victims.
Nigerian police force needs to be empowered more, most especially those in the rural, not in the city centers. What they are having in their hand, the equipment they have, cannot really measure with what the criminals are using nowadays.
The minister was accompanied by the Monday Secretary, Women Affairs Secretariat, Adedayo Benjamin Slani, the Director, FCT Reforms Coordination and Service Improvement, Dr. Juma Amadou, and the Deputy Director in charge of Child Development, Mr. Idris Yahaya. In Abuja, Aisha Uba Ali, NTA News.
We turn to humanitarian service. Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed has provided relief materials to over 2,000 internally displaced persons forced by the recent civil unrest in Plateau State to relocate to Bauchi State. Aguele Abdullahi reports.
No place where we were seated now.
This is the condition of internally displaced persons from Mangu and Bogos local government areas of Plateau State, now living in Bauchi State. This donation is part of the Bauchi State government effort to cushion the hardship that the people are facing in the camp.
We are counting almost 9,000 displaced people from Plateau State. Additionally, we're just having new displaced people from yesterday at Ogoro and this local government. This is very, very sad. We are here to support you, and we are hoping that we'll be more tolerant with one another as people, as human beings.
The beneficiaries appreciated the care and concern by Governor Bala Mohammed to their plight.
Telling the governors what he brings to us. We have thank him very much.
Items distributed include cash, foodstuffs, and other useful items. In Bauchi, Aguele Abdullahi, NTA News.
The government is not oblivious of sufferings of the masses, especially with economic challenges on multiple fronts, ranging from the aftermath of COVID-19 to the ripple effect of the fuel subsidy removal. Well, as part of efforts of lifting the people out of poverty, initiatives such as labor-intensive public works, the people say is a step in the right direction. Grace Anyaleke reports.
This work is very okay. They give us money every month. We are grateful. May God bless them.
For individuals and families struggling to pay their bills in the face of current economic realities all over the world, the Oyo NGK's labor-intensive public works has been designed to ease the people's burdens while they contribute their quota to community development.
They are really very hardworking. They will come as early as 8 o'clock. They will close by 12 o'clock. I really appreciate the Oyo State government for this program because some of the youths, they are there, unemployed, doing nothing.
We have a set of people that we don't have to push them around before they know what is due. Although that money is small, but I want to tell you, it really means a lot to them.
It's all about pushing the effects of COVID-19. I appreciate the federal government for allowing these young ones to have a feel of what it takes to live.
Providing the path for recovery by engaging youth between ages 18 and 45, the direct employment scheme of the government allows individuals make a decent living by offering unskilled labor, such as assisting children and aged cross major roads, cleaning the communities, and traffic control. In Ibadan, Grace Ayoleke, NTA News.
All right, let's join Grace now. She's at one of the streets, particularly the Mapo area there in Ibadan. She wants to give us details into this initiative. Grace, if you're ready for us, please, let's hear you.
Yes, Ruth. At the moment, the beneficiaries of the labor-intensive public works are closed for the day because they only work for 4 hours, 8 a.m. to 12 noon daily, Mondays to Fridays, 20 days a month. And it is believed that these people have petty trades that have been impacted negatively by COVID-19 and the ripple effect of fuel subsidy removal alongside other economic challenges that are bedeviling the world at this time. So they earn 10,000 naira stipends at the end of the month, and this is believed to augment whatever they get from their petty businesses. And the initiative is actually a continuous one. It is one to cater for the poorest of the poor across Oyo State. It is believed that with this program, with this initiative, the people, the poorest of the poor, will be lifted. Majority of them will be lifted out of the borderline of poverty. And this is the people love this. This is a very good one from the federal government, from Oyo State government at this time, especially when the world at large is facing various economic challenges at different fronts. Yes, Ruth.
Hey, Grace, I'm sure you've interacted with the beneficiaries. How are they feeling, being part of this initiative, especially when they're the direct beneficiaries?
Yes, the beneficiaries cut across the 33 local governments of Oyo State, and these people at this time are not less than 5,000 beneficiaries at the moment benefiting from, because there are different batches. Presently, the third batch was inaugurated a week ago and 2 weeks ago, and they've started their work, they've started working and also benefiting from this initiative. So it's actually something that the government keeps doing, keeps enrolling people in, and the beneficiaries also see this as just something they do part-time and they go back to their normal businesses after the day. What they do is they assist school children and aged to cross major roads. If we were here earlier before they closed at 12, we would have seen them help school children and aged cross this road, which is one of the major roads in Ibadan, as well as also sweep, clean the environment. They just many unskilled labor. That is what they do.
All right, Grace, thank you so much for that insight. Wish them all the best. Thank you, Grace. All right, reports just reaching us. The sad news, actually. Veteran playwright, singer, and storyteller Olujimi Adeboye Solanke is dead. He was aged 82 years. We're on to other issues. The transmission company of Nigeria, TCN, says its tower along the Jos-Bauchi line has been vandalized, resulting to another power outage in Yobe and Borno states. This follows a line trip in Jos, Plateau State, where investigation uncovers remnants of detonated explosives that brought down the tower by vandals. TCN says it has mobilized contractor to quickly commence reconstruction of the affected line and tower. A similar incident in December last year brought down towers along Gombe-Damaturu line, killing a security operative and disrupted power supply in Yobe and Borno states, but were reconstructed and energized. From the judiciary scene, the Federal High Court sitting in Abuja has denied bail request filed by 5 individuals who were arraigned before the court on charges of terrorism. Chimi Eguma, Eze Balike, Prince Lukman Oladele, Kenneth Goodluck Pasa, Osiga Donald, and Ochueja, thank God, were arraigned in court by the police for allegedly burning down the Rivers State House of Assembly on October 29 last year. Presiding Judge Justice Mobolaji Olajuwon says the defendants did not give sufficient reasons before the court to merit the bail they are asking for, particularly since the terrorism charges they're facing are not bailable. Meanwhile, they are to remain at the Kogi Correctional Center, Abuja, until February 8th, when their trial commences. The integrity and availability of data, as enshrined in the Nigerian Data Protection Act 2003, has been identified as critical to guarantee national security and multi-sectoral development. The Minister of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy, Bosun Tijani, stated this at the Nigeria Data Protection Commission anniversary dinner and awards in Abuja. Olajide Bello reports.
Well prepared on 25th of January 2023, and after several questions, I actually want the minister.
Vincent Olatunji, the captain of the Bureau turned commission, recounting with nostalgia the humble beginning of the Nigeria Data Protection Commission with his dedicated cabin crew. It was not only a moment to wine and dine, but also to reflect and take stock on the journey so far. The drive into the fourth industrial revolution requires adequate planning and priority for data management and protection.
Our policy particularly covers areas such as knowledge, policy, infrastructure, innovation, entrepreneurship, and capital, as well as international collaboration and trade.
Babatunde Bamigwe, the head Legal Enforcement and Regulations Nigeria Data Protection Commission, gave a summary of the 2023 Annual Performance Report.
I have been admitted to the Global Privacy Assembly. It's a body which is of about 130 members. And what do we get from this? You are able to get mutual legal assistance on enforcement.
For the year 2024, Nigeria Data Protection Commission projects.
What we'll be doing mainly going forward is to ensure that we implement the roadmap which we have developed in 5 major areas: governance, that is how to make the Nigeria Data Protection Act work, how to bring it to life, how do we embark on massive awareness campaign, how do we build human capital to service the ecosystem within Nigeria and outside the country. How do we have homegrown solutions that can really want to do that zero ecosystem and technology?
The event was climaxed with the launch and public presentation of the 2023 NDPC Annual Performance Report and presentation of different categories of awards. Olajide Bello, NTA News.
If you're looking for a home away from home, Kogi State is one of the places to consider. The diverse cultural, religious and tribal landscape of the state fosters a peaceful coexistence among its residents. Characterized by a spirit of accommodation, Kogi is a favored destination for many Nigerians. Well, so we hear from our correspondent Solomon Ayedayi, who explores how this harmony contributes to the state's growth and prosperity, particularly in the area of commerce.
Kogi State, created in 1991, stands as a reflection of modern Nigeria, centrally located and bordering 10 states and the FCT. This strategic position makes it a crossroads for Nigerians from all regions. The convergence of diverse tribes, cultural backgrounds, and religious beliefs coexisting peacefully has contributed to the unity and development of the state over time. The influx of people from neighboring states and beyond settling in Kogi attests to its central and peaceful nature. This has gone a long way in fostering commerce and trade.
Our coming together has been a blessing, and we have lived together as one. We eat the same kind of food.
Being the first capital of this country,
that serve as a unifying factor for all of us. Secondly, in Kogi State, you hardly know, except during politics, that you have people talking differently. You hardly know who is who, because all of us believe that, apart from the Oku who sojourn from the other part of Nigeria, the Igalas, the Ibiras, the Basa people, all of us look at ourselves as brothers because we have the same descendants. Then, intermarriage.
Many emphasize that Kogi's peaceful atmosphere is crucial for Nigeria's socio-economic development and should be consistently maintained. Indeed, with the right attitude, Nigerians can feel secure in other states if host communities embrace the spirit of accommodation. Kogi serves as proof of this possibility. In Lokoja, Solomon Ayedehi, NTA News.
All right, we join Solomon live now. He's at Paparanda Square there in Lokoja. Solomon, please tell us what makes Lokoja, or Kogi State rather, a choice destination, and what is unique about the place?
Welcome to Kogi State. Kogi State, located in the center of Nigeria, is bordered by 10 states, including FCT. To the north, we have the Hausa Fulanese, and to the west, we have the Yorubas. To the south and east, we have the Igbos. And no tribe in Nigeria that cannot be found in Kogi State. As such, Kogi State is a miniature of Nigeria. These tribes have been coexisting peacefully since the creation of the state. They intermarry and they celebrate together. There's no religious and tribal issues in Kogi State, and that is why it is a peaceful abode for Nigerians. Also, the core members posted to Kogi State, all of them have been finding it easy to stay, marry, and establish businesses in Kogi State. Of course, many of them, when they come around, they don't want to go back. And as such, Kogi State provides a peaceful and united abode for Nigerians to do business peacefully in Nigeria, in Kogi State. Besides, all the states that border Kogi State, they leverage on the centrality of the state to do businesses. They bring their services, goods and services to Kogi State to sell, and they have been making businesses in Kogi State. As such, Kogi is a miniature Nigeria and is a template for the country, whereby if followed closely or clearly, Nigerians can coexist peacefully and live together in a united way.
All right, thank you, Solomon, for that insight into Kogi State. I'm sure people are aware, and if you're thinking of a place you want to be far away from home, Kogi State should be that place. Thank you, Solomon. And I'm sure you're aware Kogi State is hardly in the news, except maybe during elections, so we get here disruptions here and there. Talking about elections, it can be marred by the action or inaction of any stakeholder. That is why guests on NTA's Good Morning Nigeria are emphatic that the only way to sustainably improve on the electoral process is by beaming the light on some politicians with tendencies in escalating violence, circumventing the people and the law. Lydia Sampson will tell us more.
Democracy has come to stay. Ironically, in analyzing elections, the electoral empire is often oversighted by escalating abnormalities in polling units. These, guests on Good Morning Nigeria believe, diverts attention from most political parties who are the brains behind the visible elections abnormalities and challenges. While culpable INEC ad hoc staff are arrested and taken to court, the real political criminals are allegedly working and planning their next exploits.
The confidence level needs to be boosted of citizens, voters, and different stakeholders. I think the security agencies did quite well also in ensuring that in many places that we didn't have an out-of-hand situation. But like I keep saying, we also have to be putting security mobilization with value for money.
I think from the INEC perspective, they've been successful. We've had cancellation so far in only 3 states, a number of polling units in Akwa Ibom, Enugu, and Kano states. So I think broadly speaking, the Commission has fared well. Doubtless, there will be incidents. So we'll evaluate them when they come.
Also of concern, the guest retweet is confidence building in the appointment of INEC officers who must be truly independent, credible and fair, not card-carrying members of any political parties. The guest decried the deliberate interruptions of elections through ballot box snatching.
These processes of always announcing large figures, 10,000 deployed, it's not the deployment that matters. And at the end of the day, some polling units, you just see one policeman with a baton just standing with thousands of people. So these are the areas that need to be looked into.
As a matter of fact, we look into lesson gained in previous elections to improve on future elections.
Though the guests believe that rerun and by-elections went well in most states, the cancellation in 3 states is still a concern that must be addressed by deepening engagement with politicians to fish out the bad eggs threatening democracy in the country. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
We have to pause from this end as we join Michael in Lagos. He'll pick up with the next set of reports.
Thank you, Ruth. Library remains a storehouse of knowledge with a collection of materials of great value that most often not seen anywhere else. With such importance to the advancement of knowledge, how many people still visit the library with availability of information on the internet? Adiola Komiakere took this question to town, and here's her findings.
A research work in this contemporary world is incomplete without the contribution of information from the library. This depository of educational materials provides access to relevant information in diverse fields, regardless of its socio-economic status and location, to support teaching and learning. All through his college and university, Elliot Itwa says the library provided great support to his academic pursuits.
Yes, it helped me in a number of ways. There were materials I could not easily access, especially when I wanted to do research work for my projects and so on. But it was easily accessible in the library, and it helped me to find references that even I had challenge finding on the internet. It was much more easier to find them in the library.
It is different for Salama, as she prefers the e-library where she can access from any location at her convenience.
Internet is my thing, anytime, any day. It's easier. It's easily accessible, unlike the physical library where you have to go and then sometimes they tell you have to have a library card, and then to get it can be kind of tedious.
Different strokes for different folks. What then is the place of the physical library in today's technologically advanced world in promoting education?
You still need to do physical reading because some people, to be sincere with you, they understand better when they read the books physically than this online reading. If, for example, you open a book online, how fast, how do you assimilate? These are things they must ask themselves.
How can the physical library be made attractive, especially to encourage the culture of reading?
Comfortable sitting arrangements, comfortable chairs. Another thing that the government should provide is that there should be relevant information materials.
Be it physical or electronic, the library plays a vital role in the teaching and learning process, as well as provides research materials for development of a nation. In Lagos, Adeola Komiakere, NTA News.
Trade between Nigeria and Angola represents less than 0.1% of the total trade of each country as at year 2021. The Angola-Nigeria Business Council recently held deliberations to bring about a paradigm shift for new business frontiers and partnerships between both countries, with a projection to increase investments to 10% and more in the next 10 years. Amakao reports.
change the fact that both countries have similar attributes as oil-producing nations and stand a chance to create and engage in robust bilateral relations. This Angola-Nigeria diplomatic business investment meeting, which had the former president of Nigeria and grand patron of Angola-Nigeria Business Council, General Olusegun Obasanjo retired, and other members, noted that Nigeria remains top choice business destination while highlighting urgency for visa-free framework, need for thriving coastal shipping facilities, business registration and repatriation of funds for a two-way economic transaction between both countries.
What are the things that we have to put in place to make it easy, to encourage, to facilitate, to enhance in trade, in economic relationship between our two countries?
It's almost like trying to conquer virgin territory that hasn't been done. It's been done all over the world. It hasn't been done in Africa. That's why the whole of the world is looking at the African continental free trade area as the next block that will drive development across the world.
Angola has land mass of 1.250 square kilometers of land, and there are only 30. Compared to Nigeria, we have just 928 square kilometers.
Angolan envoy to Nigeria, who, among others, presented areas of comparative advantage for both countries.
Our aim with this meeting is to put together a business community from Angola and Nigeria.
We get out from having ideas or seeing the potential that the countries have to concrete value-add projects and results.
Currently, we have a number of opportunities in real sector economy. We are putting focus on the mining sector.
Nigeria-Angola trade relations is a key indicator of strengthening intra-African trade in line with the objectives of the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement of connecting African businesses. In Lagos, Samaka O, NTA News.
Those are the reports from Lagos. The news continues from our Maiduguri Network Center shortly after this break. Please stay.
Onto nationwide on the Nigerian Television Authority, the news belt now continues in Maiduguri. New General Officer commanding 7th Division Nigerian Army and Commander Sector 1, Operation Hadinkai, Brigadier General Abubakar Haruna has assured to pursue remnant of insurgents still hibernating within the theater. The new GOC gave the assurance while taking over from his predecessor. Tina Toro completes the story.
Brigadier General Abubakar Haruna, who assumed the division, said he will continue with the onslaught and build on the successes so far recorded in the counter-insurgency operations while adhering to the rules of engagement. Troops' motivation, he added, will be his watchword for optimal performance. The outgoing GOC, Major General Peter Mala, emphasized the importance of upholding the values and traditions of the Nigerian Army and thanked the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taoreed Lagbaja, for always supporting the division.
I want to express my heartfelt gratitude to the Theater Commander, Operation Hadinkai, Formation and Unit Commanders, Staff Officers of Headquarters 7th Division, as well as soldiers of this great division for your support, trust, and dedication. I wish to use this opportunity to appreciate the Executive Governor of Borno State, the media, humanitarian and non-governmental organizations, as well as civil society organizations for their immense support.
A farewell parade was organized in honor of the outgoing GOC. In Maiduguri, Tina Toro, NTA News.
Away from issues that have to do with security now, to tell you that the Sheikh of Borno, Abubakar Ibn Umar Garbai Al-Amin Al-Kanemi, has urged for speedy action on graveyard shortage in Maiduguri and Jere communities in the metropolis. This dominated the session when the Sheikh parleyed with the press in his palace. The report.
Maiduguri, being one of the most densely populated cities in the country, is noticed to be acutely lacking in graveyards commensurate with a huge Muslim population residing within the expansive city. Apparently, worried by this ugly development, the Shehu convened the Pali mainly to voice out what already was in the minds of all those who matter in the state, with a view to overcoming the challenge. The monarch was quick to note that of the dozens of graveyards scattered across the Maiduguri Metropolitan Council and Jere in the metropolis, most of them are presently filled up and needing urgent attention.
A town of such a population concentrate on one graveyard. And that graveyard, or this graveyard, has been existing for the past 74 years. It's not a healthy development.
When asked what needs to be done to address the issue, the show's response was reassuring.
Based on that complaint, I directed my council to compile all the existing and non-existing graveyards, non-existing in the sense that the abandoned ones. I said, let them compile it and bring it to me so that I'll do something about it.
Gwenge Cemetery is considered the largest and one of the oldest, is filled up and needs urgent support, as being proposed by the Shehu and other prominent figures in the state. In Maiduguri, Abubakar Musa, NTA News.
And those are the latest stories. For now, from Maiduguri, Ruth in Abuja has more for us.
Thank you, Abubakar. Training senior naval officers and their contemporaries in other services at operational level commanders to make sound decisions in the application of maritime force has been identified as a way to tackle insecurity in the nation. Flag Officer Commanding Eastern Naval Command, Rear Admiral Olushola Oluwagbire, who said this at the inauguration ceremony and inaugural lecture of Naval Warfare Course 8, tax participant on improved joint military operations to counter attacks. Uduak Etim reports.
Naval War College Nigeria is a military training institution with a vision to be a center of excellence on naval joint military operations and maritime security studies in the sub-region. The college, since its establishment in 2017, has recorded modest achievements as witnessed in the inauguration ceremony and inaugural lecture of the Naval Warfare Course 8, with 24 senior officers from the Nigerian Navy, Nigerian Army, and Nigerian Air Force participating. Flag Officer Commanding Eastern Naval Command and Commandant Naval War College Nigeria say Naval Warfare Course is to equip participants with skills needed to critically analyze complex security situations.
If they know the ingredients of command, like was brought out today, foresight, risk-taking, competence, integrity, and all that, if they are enhancing those qualities and they are better trained, definitely they will be able to better ensure security of the maritime space.
The college remains poised to producing military strategies, operational planners and warfighters who can compete effectively with their contemporaries globally.
Speaking in line with the theme of the lecture, Operational Level Naval Warfare, Imperatives for Training and Command in the Nigerian Navy, guest speaker highlighted levels of warfare, spectrum of operations, and imperative for operational level warfare training in the Naval War College Nigeria, while making recommendations for enhanced maritime security. During interactive session, participants were advised to apply skills to facilitate cooperation among multi-agencies for successful operations. In Calabar, Uduak Etam, NTA News.
All right, let's take another break. We're back in a moment. Welcome back. Let's quickly head to Makurdi to join Charles. Charles, it's your turn.
Welcome to Makurdi. Following the recent fire incident that razed a 5-room apartment behind the Wurukum Abattoir in Makurdi, the Benue State capital, the Federal Fire Service has cautioned people against acts capable of igniting fire. No life was, however, lost in the inferno. The details. The fire was said to have spread through all the 5-bedroom apartment and razed it down before the federal firefighters arrived. Efforts of the Federal Fire Service, however, prevented it from spreading into neighboring houses.
When we received the call, we turned out our men immediately and they responded to the incident. They fought the fire from what we call the ultra-modern fighting truck. They went to the scene of incident and the whole thing was brought under control.
Zonal Public Relations Officer of the Federal Fire Service, Makurdi, Peter Adole, affirmed that fortunes have been lost to fire disasters in Benue State. He therefore cautioned people against acts that can easily ignite fire.
In this season of Harmattan, serious attention should be given to homekeeping, taking good care of your children and giving them safety tips, especially as fire related. If you are able to do one or two of these things, you'll be able to put out fire.
He maintained that there are 3 stages of fire, and whenever it occurs, the office should be contacted by the following emergency number: 0907 777 7061. In Makurdi, Charles Abba, NTA News. And on infrastructure, the completion of the 2,345 meters long Ibi Bridge is said to be a catalyst capable of unlocking the economic potentials of the Ibi community and Taraba State in general. Moses Ajawu Ode, who took a tour of the River Benue at the abandoned Ibi Bridge crossing point, reports that boats remain the only source of transportation for people, goods, and vehicles.
The construction of a 2.3 kilometers long Ibi Bridge was flagged off in 2019 by the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari with the aim of boosting the economic and educational development of the state and improving transportation and trade in the area. However, the construction work has since been stalled, a situation that has shattered the dreams and hopes of the host community. It has also affected businessmen and women who ply their trade along the Taraba State and its environment.
Have you ever traveled on the waterway in a boat conveying a car? Here is my experience. But if only the bridge right behind me is constructed, movement across this waterway would have been easier. Let's hear what the people have to say about movement on the waterway.
This is like my first time on the Ibi River, and it's still the same thing. It's cool. This is the only means of crossing the river by commercial means. At least we can move our vehicles and our commodities across the river.
I'm appealing to the federal government to do the needful to alleviate the suffering of the Ibi people. This is the only linking way between Taraba and Plateau.
At the moment, the only means of transportation across the river is by boat. The cost of conveying one vehicle by boat is between 8 to 10,000 naira for less than an hour journey, depending on the size. Despite the lucrative business for boat operators, they say completion of the bridge project remains key to the overall development of the area. Taraba State is said to have the longest stretch of the River Benue, with no bridge linking it with Plateau State on its west border. The people were optimistic that if the bridge is completed, it will boost the socio-economic status of the state, improve interstate connectivity, and reduce travel time. From the Ibi water crossing in Taraba State, Moses Ajawu Ode, NTA News.
That report on Ibi Bridge rounds off our contribution from Makurdi. Ruth, is back to you.
Thank you very much, Charles. The 5-year phase-out period given to manufacturers of alcohol in sachet and also in bottles less than 200 milliliters has elapsed. That was on 31st of January 2024. Director General, National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, Professor Mojisola Adeyeye, disclosed this in Abuja and maintained that enforcement has commenced.
The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, in January 2022 stopped the registration of alcoholic beverages in sachet and small volume PET and glass bottles below 200 ml, which was based on the recommendation of a high-powered committee of the Federal Ministry of Health and NAFDAC on one hand, the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, and the industry represented by the Association of Food, Beverages and Tobacco Employers, Distilled and Blended Association of Nigeria in December 2018, and to phase out by 31st of January 2024. It is in the light of this that NAFDAC is informing the public on the government policy of banning the importation, manufacture, distribution, sale, and use of alcoholic beverages in sachet, PET, and glass bottles of 200 ml and below. Alcoholic drinks in sachet, PET, and glass bottles are pocket-friendly and can easily be carried around by the underage without notice, easily affordable, and can come in handy, and those who often take them constitute a nuisance to society.
All holders of alcohol in sachet, PET, and glass bottles less than 200 ml, empty sachets, empty PET bottles, empty glass bottles, labels, and other packaging materials of these banned products to immediately report to the Investigation and Enforcement Directorate of NAFDAC for handover of sale for destruction.
NAFDAC is resolutely committed to the strict implementation of the regulations and regulatory measures towards safeguarding the health of Nigerians, particularly the vulnerable youth, against the dangers of reckless consumption of alcohol. Hamman Jabani, NTA News.
Ahmed Tinubu heartily congratulates the governor of Kwara State and chairman of the Nigeria Governors Forum, Abdurrahman Abdurrazak, on his birthday, which is today. A statement by presidential spokesman Ajuri Ngelale indicates that President Tinubu celebrates the thoroughbred, professional and Spartan politician whose historic ascendancy to the office of the executive governor has brought sweeping changes to the political trajectory of the state. President Tinubu also commends the governor for his discipline and candor, which have bolstered his popularity among the people and broadened the acceptability of progressivism in the state. And next, the sports update. And that concludes Nationwide. Thank you for your company. Do have a beautiful evening. I'm Ruth Aguele.